Fellow Santa Clausians, when we were sworn into office, we took up a mandate to turn our association from a national association to a global association and had a global agenda. The AOBA Global Constitution has been adopted after a motion submitted before Congress in 2022. We set out to work right away in co-opting and making sure AOBA North America and AOBA UK, the presidents and their secretaries are part of the Executive Council. We then took up a mandate to form AOBA Ghana. So we have a structure that you have the various AOBA North America, AOBA UK, and AOBA Ghana all reporting to the GEC and having representatives sitting on it. That has largely been done. AOBA Ghana, even though it hasn't been registered, has been formed. There's an interim executive and a constitution, and that will be explained later. The AOBA Ghana is headed now by Reverend Samson Hammond, Santa 72, and the work is in progress, whilst all the area groups are being formed. And so we have made great progress in achieving that. The period under review also saw the Adisadel Trust Fund raking in some contributions. Although I must confess that more needs to be done on this front. Our initial vision of raising $3 million US, where each region was to contribute $1 million US, UK and Ghana, hasn't really materialized. It's just trickling in, and I'm sure Dr. Sam Mensah will have something to say when he comes to give a report on the trust fund. The mandatory, when we relaunched the trust fund as well, we set a mandatory contribution of 20,000 Ghana cedis for each energy year group. Unfortunately, only 10 of the year groups have contributed, and I will employ all other year groups who haven't contributed to help us in raising these funds, because the only way for our great institution to be supported will be to make sure we've got a sizable trust fund that we can then send money to help with the activities in the school. Now, going to our legacy project, the 1998 and 1999 year groups delivered two wonderful projects that will impact academic life on campus positively for many years to come. First, an ultramodern reading facility that is within the reach to all the houses situated in Katanga came online in 2023. This reading facility comes in to augment the space already provided by the school library and also gives students in Katanga some breathing space, avoiding the arduous task of trekking up the Katanga staircase to access library facilities. Secondly, the 1999 year group delivered what perhaps qualifies to be a gargantuan project by all standards. They connected the whole school, Leopoldville and Katanga, with electricity generated by solar panels, saving the school tremendous amounts of money usually spent in paying for electricity bills. These two projects will undoubtedly yield good academic dividends in the years to come. Thank you, Santa 98 and Santa 99, for these thoughtful projects. The bar has been set so high, and subsequent year groups have their work cut out. Santa 2000 are the next to go, and they are currently tackling the Job 600 project. And that also qualifies to be another big project, and I have every hope in the Santa 2000 year group, who they call the Millennium Year Group, of delivering their projects on time. Now, a couple of pressing issues that we have as an association. One is the dues, and it's something that is going to be, GEC is going to continue engaging to come out with a due structure that we believe befits our organization. Currently, the 1,000 Ghana cedis being paid for each year group is woefully inadequate, and It's impossible to run anything with that. Discussions are ongoing, and we will very soon announce to the Santa Clausian body a new structure that can be discussed to allow. If you look at the older year groups, I mean, between the 60s and 70s and probably part of the 80s, the total per each year group in the class was about 125 averagely people. The latter year groups, we're talking about 600, 400, 600, and 800s. And we are asking all these year groups to pay the same level of dues. So it's something that we would have to look at and come up with a structure. We are here having a congress here in our leased facility, which we call Adisadel House. I think it's the first of its kind in the country. We have our own secretariat and a clubhouse attached to it. Thanks to the efforts by Senior Bimfo, Santa 72, and Kwesi Ments, and Sir Jojomi, and the other members who worked tirelessly to get this space and renovate it to what we have now. We intend ultimately to have our own facility, and thanks to Kennedy Japan Santa 81, who has donated land near at the back of Coco Vanilla to the Santa Clausian body. And so very soon, what we intend to do is to get our group of architects together to design. Our intention is only to be here for 2 years. And so between now and 2 years, we should have our own secretariat plus clubhouse attached and any other things, which we intend to make it self-funding with all the other things we put in, so that contributions from what we gain from there will run the secretariat. There are other issues that we need to grapple with, and we would have to agree that communication from the secretariat to Santa Clausians is very poor. Part of the reason we spoke about was we didn't have a permanent secretariat. We've got one now. It's now being commissioned today. So going forward, we'll try and improve that. When there's any communication, it's put on the energy group platform with the intention for the group leaders to disseminate that to their various groups. Mostly that doesn't happen because this Congress was advertised several times, but most people, when we met the year group presidents last week, Thursday or something like that, a lot of them hadn't distributed it, and most members didn't know it was coming on. So we apologize for that. And so in the coming year, we intend to have that communication improved. We're grateful for all the effort, and we're still looking for funds to try and keep us here for 2 years. Those of us who have contributed a lot already, we thank you all, and we still require more contribution. I look forward to engagement with all Santa Clausians in the year groups in the year ahead, and we've got our work cut out, and we will deliver. The elections this year, original intention for election has been postponed, and we've taken some legal advice from the lawyers here, and Lawyer Nyampong will be here to explain the rationale behind that, because when the energy group leaders were met last week, those proposals came up, and we got the lawyers to look into it because it hadn't properly been advertised and not many people had heard about it, so it was going to be unfair to do anything. But I'll get Lawyer Nyampong to give us a bit more. Let me end by congratulating all year group leaders and executives who do a tireless job in keeping our association going. And then I call on all Santa Clausians to play up and give up your best wherever you are. We offer up our hearts. There's another conversation, I know it's in the background, which we will go into it, is how well we are performing with the National Science and Maths Quiz. I know it's on the list of and it's something that we will have to very seriously look at. A lot of effort went in this year, and it hasn't changed it, and we'll continue to deal with it. Thank you so much for your attention.